everybody, this is Alyce-Kay from Threshold of Hineni, and I'm really excited because this is the final video in our tutorial series for making our Abraham journal. In fact, this one's not really a tutorial, it's just a flip through, but I am going to show you some of the extras that I have that I will probably work on as needed while I'm doing the Abraham journal. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. Okay, now I have loads and loads of scraps. These are just a few of them. And I'll be making those into franken paper at some point, and I might video that, but I won't put it as part of this series. However, I will try to remember to put it into the playlist for you in case you want to see that. That's something that I like to do whenever I finish a journal, is take all my scraps from that journal and make it into franken paper so that I have it for the next time that I do something with that color scheme, or in this case I might even still use it for this journal. Okay, so we've got a pretty fat journal, and we still have a few things to add during the study, during the course when we study Abraham. And we aren't adding them yet because we don't know exactly where we'll be in the journal, and you'll be in a different place than I will be because it just depends on what we write and how much. So we want to wait until we get to those places to add those in. And those are some more flip outs, smaller flip outs that we'll have for Melchizedek, Lot, Eliezer, Hagar. Seems like there was one or two others. Anyway, they'll just be small flip outs. So we've kind of, we'll deal with that when we get to those places, and I'll try to remember to put those into this series also. Okay, so some things before we open this up, some things that I wanted to show you. I do have a PDF that is available for free, just ask for it, of most of the images that I used in here. And most of them are in there several times in different sizes because I don't know if you can resize my PDF or not. However, there are some things that are not in there because they're free and they're copyright free, but I can't give them to others unless I alter them, and I didn't alter these except to make them smaller. Okay, so these camels are from pixelscrapper.com, and that is a wonderful website that I just found out about this last week, and otherwise I probably would have used it a lot more. But you go there and you can download 5 things for free each day, or you can get a membership and have unlimited downloads, which I'll probably eventually do when I can afford it. But anyway, I loved this camel. See, it's made with a map. And so I did that in various sizes. And one way that I used that was, and I wish I had done more of these because I really like camels, I did a little journaling card, and this was white paper, and so I just used my chipped sapphire distress ink and my vintage photo distress ink and just kind of stamped all over and let that get mixed up, and it came up with this really cool design. I will be doing more of that in the future because I really think that's very cool. And I recently got some pink ink too, distress ink also, so I want to try some designs with that. I have a couple of journals that I've just recently started getting everything ready to start working on them that have blue and pink and purple in them. So anyway, so I printed out a bunch of pages that just had stuff that's light enough that I can journal on, and and then I sewed, and you could glue if you wanted to. I sewed, in this case, a whole bunch of just scraps, that I cut to make them reasonably well-shaped, that I can use in my journal. And so I'll cut those out and I'll ink the edges and everything either as needed, or I'll probably sit and do them like when I'm talking to Bill in the kitchen or something. But, here's that. I must have like 6 or 7 of this tree. I love it. And I didn't realize that I'd printed so many of them. But, just for journaling cards, that's the Sea of Galilee, by the way. Just for journaling cards. Okay, now this is another one that I found on Pixel Scrapper. It actually was green. Where is it? Here it is. It was actually like this, and then it was a lot smaller. I made it bigger, and I did it in a whole bunch of different colors, on Google Photos. And then this was also from Pixel Scrapper. I mean, does that look appropriate or what? And so I made that into a large journaling card. I wanted quite a few large journaling cards. So I made, I don't know, like 7 or 8 of them out of this design. And then they each have, you know, a different design on the back. And of course, Abraham sacrificing Isaac, so that will just, I'll just put that. Most of these, if I cut these out ahead of time, oh, here's another of the camels, so I'll do the distress inks on that. Most of these, I'll cut them out and I'll put them into a manila envelope so that I just have them ready for when I need them. So, yeah, just all different scenes and designs and stuff. Here's a silhouette of people on camels and another one of those. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so now the flip through, that's what we really want, right? Okay, so I used one of my husband's shoestrings. It's a leather one for the closure, because I wanted something rugged and masculine, and it doesn't smell anymore. It smelled at first when I used it, so I wasn't sure if I would be able to leave it on there or not, but it doesn't smell anymore. And I've got it through the binding, which is another piece of leather. I bound this with leather. I have it through the binding so that I don't lose it. Okay, and just in case anybody doesn't know what on earth about this journal, this is not for sale. This is mine, but I do have a whole month-long series of tutorials for making it. So if you want to make one like it, you can. This is specifically for a class about Abraham that I'm going to be teaching, and so it's an optional component. People don't have to use a junk journal. They can just buy a journal or do it on their Google Docs or Word or whatever, or a notebook. But if you wanted to have it in a junk journal, I really think that it will enhance the Bible course for you. I have beads dangling here, and I do have a cross, which might seem kind of funny for Abraham because, of course, this was before Christ. But Abraham's life and his story is all wrapped up with Jesus' story. And we'll be seeing that as we do the study. And then these other beads are ceramic, wooden, plastic, you know, resin, whatever. I made the cover from some fabric that I had. This is from a Dollar Tree Bible. It's from Romans 4, where Paul talks about Abraham and how God credited his faith to him as righteousness. This is an old guy that I found on Pixabay.com, which is a place where you can get free, copyright-free images to use, and I use Pixabay and Unsplash all the time, mainly Pixabay. I use that all the time. I love it. I use it for my book covers, and I use Canva with that to make the my book cover images. And then this is just, I just printed that out. So I sewed all these onto this, and the inside is from some fabric that I had that looks like it had actually been made into a tablecloth. And this is actually the wrong side of the fabric. It has yellow and stuff in it, which I didn't really want for this. Okay, so the first page, this is the title page, which I'll do as we're doing the course. The first thing that I have in here is, this is a big envelope that I cut open at the top. I sealed it closed on the back, and I cut it open at the top and collaged it. There's an envelope here that I can stick something into. This was a page from my first novel, and right now I've got I'm not going to take this all the way out because then it might be hard to get back in on camera. It's always harder to do these things on camera. But I've got a big card that takes up the whole envelope, that's a shepherd with his sheep, and it's got burlap at the top as a pull tab, and it's got coffee dyed paper on the back of it, and I can fit some other things in there too if I want. There's that olive tree that I really like, and one of these trifold pockets. So for now I've got an olive branch and some coffee dyed 3x5 card that's cut up that I've put into these pockets. And all these cards and stuff may get moved around, just kind of depending on what I need when and where. I've got some fabric along the side here that's really fraying nicely. I want it to look all rugged and like it's been carried around and well loved, and maybe trampled in the mud by a camel or something. Here's some camels walking out in the desert that I've stuck into this pocket. Oh, and I have this envelope that actually flips open. It's not actually an envelope, it just looks like it, and it flips open to journal inside of. Okay, and then I've got this is just a card of scrap paper that I've sewn together, and I've got cheesecloth on the end of it to make it easier to pull out, and a flip up so I can journal there, on the pocket. You know, you journal everywhere. Now this is a little bit different from a regular junk journal, because a regular junk journal, you could just choose a page to journal on for the day, whereas this, we are going to be going straight through it for our study. There are a few places that we may skip ahead just a little bit, but okay, so I made several notebooks. We learned how to make these. We learned how to make all of these things in the tutorials. So this is using some paper that I had printed out. You can use coffee stained paper, you can use scraps, you can use whatever you want. And it's sewn along the edges. And there's a Rita Donnelly flip, so I can journal here too. More journaling space. A little notebook. This time it's a flip up notebook that I can write on in a corner pocket. Still plenty of room to put more into that, although this journal is so fat we might not want to put extra things in. Here's some Franken paper that I made into a belly band. Here's another notebook with some of my husband's shoelace, some turtle doves, and some olives. You know, they're journaling cards. Oh, by the way, because I keep forgetting to say it, the Maladon paper that I suggested that you get, because I really like it, the thank you thing doesn't go in there. I put that in there because I just didn't want to lose it. This paper I love, and so I'll keep it so that whenever I need some lined paper to write on, I can write on it, and I just stick it in whatever pockets wherever I am at the time. So that comes in really handy. I use that a lot for different things. Here's another notebook with a sheep on the front of it, and a 3-fold pocket that I can stick. I'll just use this right now. I can stick something really thin in there. I can stick something in here, and I can stick something in here, and something in there. So if I have small things to tuck in, like Bible verses or something, I can. Now I do have some pieces that I made, one that can go in here, and then this one's a top folder, and it's already got a card in it. That olive tree again cracks me up that I made so many and I didn't realize it. And another flip. Okay, and then this card that I might redo because I don't like the beige stitching on my sky, so I might redo that. But I did some Franken paper on the back and a piece of fabric on the top for a pull tab, and I'm just leaving it in here to float around, because when I want to use it is when God says, count the stars, Abraham, if you can. And I'm not sure where I'll be in the journal, so I'm just putting it in here loose and letting it float for now. Okay, then we have a pocket here and a pocket here. It's a library card pocket, and these three are tags that I cut from one piece of paper, from one picture. So they're different parts of the same picture. And this is one of those 3-fold pockets. So there's lots of room to put more stuff if I want to. This is a double pocket, so I've got a pocket here, and I've got another notebook in here. Oh, I want to fill that in with black. So another notebook here that I can write in. And I can take these notebooks out. I'll probably put one in my Bible. I can put them, you can use them for taking sermon notes, whether it has to do with this or not, or just having it with you to write down anything that you think of that has to do with the Abraham study, or just use them for notebooks because there might be more than you need. Okay, I still don't have all the letters for this. I did find an M today that I need to glue in. So, but I don't think that goes there because it's too big. I'm not sure where this would go then because it's too big for an M. Anyway, I still need some of the letters here When I had all these together, they flew off my desk and I lost a bunch of them. So I still need to do them. But this is going to be a flip out. It is a flip out. It's going to be about Abraham's journey and Sarah's journey, about basically their character arc, about how they grow and change through the story. And then we'll have other flip outs that are going to be smaller than this on the people that I mentioned earlier, Hagar, Melchizedek, Lot, a few others. But we're not putting those in yet because we don't know exactly where we'll be in the journal when we do it. Abraham and Sarah could be any place because they're both all the way through the story. But the others will want to add at their specific spots. So I have a card here in this top tuck, and I have a pomegranate notebook, with all my printed pages. Okay, and my printer was going wonky, so I have a lot of stripes, but I decided to keep it. It's just for me, so it doesn't matter. I have a medallion here, which is a corner tuck, and I've got some camels. I really like camels. I'm not really sure why. They're kind of weird animals, but I like them. So this was some coffee dyed paper that I had laid some burlap on, so it made a really neat, I don't know if you can see that or not, a really neat burlap design on there. And then this is a Julie flip-flop. Dear Julie flip-flop. Okay, so you can write on the front, you can write inside, you can write on the back, you can write all over this page. And then I've got another flip out here. Okay, and then I've got another journaling card. All these pictures that I show you, the journaling cards, if they're light enough like this, I can write on them. But on the back always has light colored stuff if I don't show you that. And there's a top tuck here with a medallion that we made that we just folded over the top, and so it goes over here too. Another picture of a camel. And another camel notebook. Lots of different pages in it, and a side tuck. That's the full length. And it's really loose, so I could put tons of other stuff in there. This was also from a set of 3 that I cut up from one picture. And I might still punch a hole and put something coming out of that, so I have something sticking up at the top. And another Rita Donnelly flip. Some more of that not canvas, burlap. I think you can see this one better actually on my coffee stained paper. And the coffee stained paper is really nice to write on too. Okay, so here's a double pocket. I've got a pomegranate with coffee stained paper on the back. And this is the fabric from inside the cover, but this is the right side. It's got that yellow in it. And then another notebook in this pocket. And again, these pockets are so big that they can hold lots of stuff. Okay, and another one of these bookmarks. And a Rita Donnelly flip. You can journal on here, journal all over the bookmarks, journal all over this, and the tags or bookmarks, whatever you want to call them, you can carry these with you in your Bible too to write things down, so that if you're out and about and you don't have your journal and you want to write down something to go in your journal, you've got it, and then you just stick it in here. Okay, so some blank pages to write on. Okay, now this flips out. This is like a massive flip out, and this is going to be our timeline for the whole story of Abraham. It's 6 pages wide, so it's big. And in the center, this is in the centerfold, and this is where we've done our binding, and I tied some cheesecloth in there, and then of course I showed you the beads, so they're on the binding in the middle. Okay, and then let's see what else. This is another big pocket, and we've got a shepherd and his sheep with a notebook, and we've got a large journaling card with an olive tree, and some of that Maladon paper on the back. I sewed that onto the back of a lot of things too. And then that fabric that I had before as a tab at the top. Here's some fringe that I used to make used to use on matzah covers for Passover that I had left. Here's some more of that burlap. That olive tree again. There we go, that way. And another side tuck pocket, some grapes. I don't think that I mentioned this. The reason that I don't have any grapes growing on the vine in this notebook is because, at least when I was there in the 80s in Israel, they grew them differently than they do here, and I couldn't find any pictures anyplace free, copyright free, that I could get a picture from. But they don't, or at least they didn't. I'm going to say don't because I'm going to assume they still do it the same. They don't put them up on like trellises like we do and like they do most places. They just grow them along the ground, and then wherever the grapes start growing, they put a big rock underneath it to keep it, I guess, from getting too dirty and moldy or anything like that, and probably to keep it warm too. So anyway, so I just didn't want to show any on the vine. Here's a Rita Donnelly flip, and this is another Dear Julie Julie flip flop. And I have a pen that writes really dark, so I printed some things that were darker than probably most people would for writing on. Another part of that picture, and it's got that on the back of it. And a cactus that grows in Israel, and a corner tuck, some journaling pages, and this is where my, oh wait, it's not, I thought it was. Okay, I'll show you when I get there. I can't remember what these are called, but they grow in Israel, and I have some leaves on the back, some papyrus leaves. And this is nightshade, which grows in Israel. I just looked up flowers that grow in Israel, and these aren't necessarily growing in Israel, the pictures. They're just free, copyright free pictures that I could find of the flowers that do grow in Israel. Okay, so that's another notebook. Some burlap at the top of this journaling card. Okay, here's where, when I was binding, somehow I got some of my my leather stuck in there. So I don't know, I'll figure out a way to use that. I'm not really sure what I'll do with it. It's kind of funny having a little loop there. A thistle in a pocket, and here's a side pocket with another flower there. And another ram card in a pocket, lots of journaling space. Two little things to journal on. Now these little things, I'll probably write like a Bible verse, or maybe just like if I have like one sentence thought that I think is pretty profound, I'll write it on there, or something that God just really shows me that's important, I'll just put it on there. But one of the nice things about these little things is that they're very easy to move to a different page if you want them somewhere else. It's Qumran. Some more Franken paper for a belly band, and an olive tree with lots of pages. These camels grazing, I thought those were really pretty, white camels. And then this is my lace. I have lace, just 2 pieces of lace in this whole thing, which is very unusual for me because I like lace. Okay, oh, 3 places, because this one has lace also. And this is just a little flip notebook. And it's in a Rita Donnelly flip. Yep. There we go. It's got lace on it, and then a button, one of my husband's buttons, and some thread. Some camels on a big card. And there's another pocket here that I can stick something else into. There's a card here. I think this is near the Dead Sea, but I'm not 100% certain. I know it's in Israel. And then I can stick a big card here, one of my large cards that I was showing you. Here's another flower card stuck into this side pocket. Side pockets are sometimes a little hard to get stuff in and out of. Okay, and then another of that olive tree in this pocket, and this is another of those envelopes that will open up to write on. And when you write in these journals, you want to write everywhere, just write on the pockets and everything. Some more of that fabric on the edge. This is another one of those envelopes, so here at the top it's open, and I've got a card in there right now, the olive tree, with one of the tassels from that trim that I have. And I made a collage that says, "Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you be secure." Psalm 122:6. And another envelope from my first novel. Another one of these 3-pocket envelopes. Stick it under there. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so that's what it looks like from up on top. All this good stuff: fabric, threads, burlap, yarn, cheesecloth, and oops, no, I lost a tassel. I'm gonna have to sew that back on. I see the thread where it was, so that'll be easy to sew on. My little token lace and the bottom. Okay, so anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you're planning to join us for the Abraham study that we're going to be doing. I'm going to be posting it starting the first Monday of June, but you can do it anytime. I'll have them up for a couple years, and so, you know, if I move too quickly for you, just take your time. I want you to get the most out of it possible. I will have some goodies for people who are taking the course during the summer. I'll be posting on Monday and Thursday, but you don't have to do the things on Monday and Thursday. Just do them sometime during that week if you want to get the special goodies that I'm going to be offering, just to those who do it during the summer with me. But whenever you take it, even if you take it later, I am offering a certificate for it, and I'll explain that in the course itself. You do not have to have the Abraham Journal to do the study. This is just an extra for those of us who love to craft and who have the time, because it takes a lot of time to make something like this, as everybody saw. If you did an Abraham Journal, please send me pictures. If you want to do a flip through like I just did, a video, please do. Make sure that you let me know about it, and I'll include it in the playlist for the Abraham's Journal, if you don't mind. Let me know if that's not okay with you. Or if you want to send me pictures, you can send them on Facebook, or you can send them to me through my private email, which I always have in the description box below. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you all for the study, and I love you. It's been a great month. I have had so much fun with you all. Bye-bye.